Ladies and gentlemen, strap in. It is a 10-season rebuild. Today we are going to Germany to take over Dynamo Dresden in the Liga to see what we can do with this club in 10 seasons. If we dive into the game, you can see already they have a really nice stadium, a 32,000 capacity seater stadium built in 2009. They've got some really nice kits as well, but of course they do start in the Liga. So we'll be trying to take a team from the bottom tier of Germany all the way to the top and seeing what we can do on the way. Ultimately, the goal will be to try and win the Bundesliga with this team in 10 seasons. I don't actually know how it's going to go, but we're going to start things and we're going to see. There's some nice teams in the third division of the German league system. I do like 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 as well, but obviously you can see Dortmund's second team and stuff like that, Freiburg's second team. There's a couple of teams down here that we would like to get ourselves past. Obviously, we are former winners of this ourselves, Dynamo Dresden, but they got relegated last year. If we go into their club history super quickly and have a look at their overview, you can see they were relegated, then they got promoted, then they got relegated again. So we want to be back in the Bundesliga 2, and then we really kind of want to build on things, moving things forward. Obviously, we are a two-time winner of the Liga. Let's make that 3 in season number 1. If we go into the competitions, though, obviously we do have the Pokal as well. Not expecting big things of this just yet, but maybe a little bit further down the line we can pick up a German Cup. That would be very nice. The board expectation for the first season, though, is to win the league. Promotion via winning the league. If we have a look at the Liga and look at the season preview, we are the favourites to go up. Now, I will say, because of this, obviously as part of the relegation from last season, we are the favourites to go up. I'm kind of hoping that we can kind of build on that, push forward, and be the team at the top of the table at the end of the season. For this 10-season rebuild, though, I wanted to run a 4-3-3. We are using GYR's Dynamite. This is the one that's come out on the latest update. I will leave a link to it down below. Please do go and check it out. It's a fantastic tactic. It's a 4-3-3, and this is the team that we are going to be running. I don't know many of these players myself. Hopefully, I can get some sort of affinity to them moving through this 10-season safe. But the team looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with how things are situated right now. Obviously, we do have a couple of players on loan. We do not have a transfer window in this first season, or at least in the first part of the first season, and then we just see how we get on. So, guys, let's get to simulating season number 1 of this Dynamo Dresden 10-season rebuild. So, season 1 is done and dusted, and we did as the board expected. We won the division, but not only did we win the division, we absolutely cakewalked the division. We won the division by 20 points, guys, and the team in second had a goal difference of +5. We had a goal difference of +52. That is absolutely ludicrous. We get 27 victories, 6 draws, 5 losses throughout the course of the season, and this guy was our top goal scorer, Stefan 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪? Is that? I'm going with that. Stefan 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪. He is 34 years of age. He's 6'4". He probably won't be at the team next season because he's under a 200k bid already. But 34 years of age, he still knew where the back of the net was. I will definitely give him that. 31 goals in all competitions, or 31 goals. Yeah, 31 goals in all competitions in 33 starts, which is not too bad for someone that age. In terms of the Pokal, we lost to VfL Bochum. They are in the Bundesliga, so no huge surprises there. But we've done what is required of us from season 1, which is get ourselves promoted. Now, I will show you the club info and stuff like that at the end of the first season, just so you can kind of keep an eye on things. The club is estimated value at 50 million. The training facilities and youth facilities are pretty darn good as well, as same as the junior coaching and the youth recruitment. So the team is well balanced and like off the field, ready to make a good charge up into the Bundesliga. If we go and take a look at the finances, though, we've got ourselves a little bit of money to spend going into the Bundesliga 2. We've got £1.3 million to spend in terms of transfer budget and 188k in the wage budget. Compared to our committed spending, guys, that's about 60 grand a week. That should be quite good. That should be good for season number 2. Let's get into it and see what we can do building on top of this promotion. Hey, you! Do you like the rebuild content on the channel? If you do, let me know that you do by hitting a like on today's video. These 10-year rebuilds take a long time to put together, so it would mean the world to me if you hit a like on today's video. And if you are new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button, because if you do, we'll get promoted into the Bundesliga in season number 2 of this Dynamo Dresden Dresden Rebuild. Right, let's get into the transfers for season number 2. I'm going to talk about some of the players that have gone out. Not a huge amount of fees coming in for them. 375k coming in for these guys. Nothing major. Sven Muller being the biggest one of that. Oh no, sorry, I lied. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is the biggest one. The top goal scorer from last season, gone for 200k. We needed to replace some players. We went into 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. Now, if you've seen my video on Cheap Wonder Kids, you will know who 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 𝙤𝙗 is. He is a young German centre-back, obviously at 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. He is very good. 6'2", 18 years of age. He's got all the attributes of a very good centre-back. I actually signed this guy in my Hearts rebuild. He was fantastic for that entire save. So I would highly recommend going and taking a look at this guy. He is our new centre-back. And then moving things up, we got Tom Kretschmar. He comes in as a new goalkeeper for us for the level. Obviously, 14 positioning, 14 reflexes, nice handling and one-on-ones as well. Is exactly what I look for in a goalkeeper. He is consistent as well. So I'm hoping that is a nice step up and a nice improvement in terms of that team. If we quick pick without restriction our best 11, well, I'll do it after showing you guys this. We've got 2 players that we're going to pin in for the entire season, guys. That is 𝘼𝙗𝙗. He will be pinned in as the right centre-back. And then this man, the new man up top, 19 years old, Julius Hoffmann, is going to try and be our mainstay coming through this year. Obviously, he's got 14 finishing, 15 heading, which is pretty good for a youngster. He's got high determination, high off the ball. He's got the basic components down to be a good striker, but I'm intrigued to see what we can do with him if he does, of course, improve throughout the course of the season. This is set up quite nicely for him to do quite well, so fingers crossed he does pull something out the bag. Obviously, we do have the 2 competitions. We got the second Bundesliga, or the Bundesliga 2, or Bundesliga 2, the second tier of Germany, and we obviously do have the German Cup as well, where we enter into that first round. Some interesting teams that you will, of course, recognise in here. Werder Bremen, they're quite a sizable side. Arminia Bielefeld, they're quite sizable. Augsburg have been in the Bundesliga in recent seasons. Hamburg is still down here. Kaiserslautern, another big fallen giant. Paderborn, St. Pauli. There are some big teams here, guys, and I'm expecting a bit of a scrap, to be honest. The board expectation is avoid relegation, so we need to finish outside 15th or 15th or above, because we kind of need to see and avoid that relegation playoff, basically. If we go into the 2. Bundesliga, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗 Braunschweig are the current champions. If we go into the season preview, we are expected to finish in 16th, so we are expected to finish in that relegation playoff. There's some, as I said, there's some big teams in here. Werder Bremen should not be in this division. I can almost guarantee it. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on and also how they get on. Let's simulate season number 2 and see how we can do. So season number 2 is in the books, and we did avoid relegation, but we're absolutely nowhere near this promotion opportunity. Werder Bremen do get into the playoff, but they don't win the league. That goes to Heidenheim, and they go up as champions of the division. We ourselves finish in 12th, which I'm actually really happy with. In some good company, obviously above Kaiserslautern and stuff like that. Augsburg, were they in the Bundesliga last season? Please tell me they were. Oh my god, it's back-to-back relegations for them. They were 18th in the Bundesliga last season, and they're 17th in the second tier Bundesliga this season. They've gone down again. That is ridiculous for a club like that to do that. Nosedive in back-to-back relegations. We finish in 12th though. Quite happy with that. 11 victories, 10 draws, 13 defeats. -5 in terms of that goal difference though, but it's a nice big adjustment step in season number 2. Julius Hoffmann was our top goal scorer for the season. He got 20 in all competitions. Looks like he developed a decent amount. Might still need to look at replacing him though. So after our consolidation season, obviously we can try and push a little bit more in season number 3. Second rounded in the Pokal by Freiburg, obviously another Bundesliga team. The finances though, they are very good in Germany, and they do continue to improve here. 2 million is the transfer budget, guys, and we've got a wage budget of 234 grand. So it's a slight improvement in terms of the wage budget, but a lot in terms of that transfer budget. So if we actually were to slide it all the way across, that would actually improve our wage budget, by around 50 grand a year. That would be absolutely massive. We are overall in a positive bank balance here, 5.7 million. We do have a little bit of debt though, a little bit of transfer debt. 44 million pounds worth of net debt is also very interesting. Let's get through the summer window and talk transfers for season number 3. Right guys, transfer update for season number 3, our second year in the Bundesliga as well. Obviously we are trying to improve on that 12th place finish last season, and we had to go and get some reinforcements. Now first of all, let's talk about this player coming in. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say that guy's name. It's definitely wrong. I'm sorry any Syrians who watch this video. He's a mainstay in a lot of these videos because he is dirt cheap, guys. He comes in from Syria, international experience, 24 caps and 1 goal. He comes in for so cheap. It is absolutely ridiculous. 2.6k. That is all. He comes in to be a player for us, an important player for us. Mentally, he's really nice. High determination as well. If you actually give this guy good game time, he does become very, very good. Tim Lehmann comes in as a younger prospect. He looks okay to play in central midfield. Higher passing, high first touch, high technique. It's kind of all you need for a creative player in central midfield. This will be a name recognised by many. Tadem Menji comes in. He is a former Manchester United player, of course. He can play either centre-back or fullback. Ludicrous that he can kind of play as a makeshift striker. That's definitely not where we're going to be playing him. Decent heading, marking, passing, tackling, etc. All what you need for a good defender. He is really, really nice in terms of his physicals as well after being released by Manchester United. Now, another fan favourite, Andrea Pipetti is back. He's not as good in FM23 as he was in FM22, but he's back in this save. Another good central defender to come in. You don't actually see a lot of Pipetti this year, so I'm hoping he can kind of be a fantastic addition for this team. If we have a look at the team, these are the kind of players that we are looking at pinning in particular positions. Hoffman continues up front. Morgala alongside Kevin Errors. He's 23. Looks like a nice little player for us as well. Wants to move to a club with a stronger squad. Who doesn't, pal? I'd love a stronger squad, but we're not getting it right now. And then Pipetti comes in as a 4-star player. Hoffman is going to need to be our main man this year. 17 heading, and he's only 6'1". Let's see what we can do with this. In terms of the competitions, though, obviously we are still in the same 2 competitions. 1860 München are in here as well. Hanover, another big side. Nuremberg are still here, knocking around. Greuther Fürth, they are here as well, obviously relegated from the Bundesliga last season. If we go into the season preview, we are predicted to finish in 11th. So that's 1 position higher than we did last season. I'd like to be kind of in the hunt for a title maybe in season number 3. Let's get through the season and see how we get on. So guys, season number 3 is done and we are promoted.
That tastes like promotion. Yeah!
Now, we didn't go up as champions. That was reserved for Hamburg. They did kind of annihilate the league. They won by 9 points ahead of the team in second. Holstein Kiel, they had their playoff. We had our playoff from finishing in 3rd. We took on Union Berlin, which is absolutely ridiculous. Union finishing near the bottom of the Bundesliga, and we get the job done. 3-2 in the second leg, meaning we win 5-4 on aggregate. Absolutely ridiculous game. There's 16 shots, 12 on target for us, 23 shots, 9 on target for them. What a ludicrous game this is. But Union gets relegated, and we are going to be playing Bundesliga football next season, ladies and gentlemen. We got knocked out in the 3rd round of the Cup by Stuttgart. I don't care. We are going to be playing in the Bundesliga. Julius Hoffmann again improving. Again, he's listed now as a good Bundesliga player, which is good because that's exactly where we're going, and he wants a new contract, and he's actually proved me wrong. I thought we were going to look at replacing him. He's kind of proved me wrong a little bit, and may well be our striker going into the Bundesliga next season. I'm so excited to be in the Bundesliga. It's really, really nice. In terms of the finances, though, we are obviously getting promoted. We are now in the red in terms of our overall bank balance, and our transfer budget is 1.3 million, and the wage budget, though, is absolutely monumental. 377k. That is £110,000 a week that we are going to be able to spend now we are in the Bundesliga, getting that TV revenue and all of that good stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing the players that we can actually add, but getting promoted from potentially supposedly finishing in 11th is absolutely fantastic. Season number 4's transfers coming up next. Right, this is our biggest summer transfer window ever as we need to get ready for Bundesliga football. I still can't believe that I'm saying that. Bundesliga football for Dynamo Dresden inside 4 seasons is absolutely redonkulous. We are going into the season now, and we've spent 3.3 million pounds. Let's talk about some of the players that have come in. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 comes in. He is a Polish centre-back, 24 years of age. He is formerly of Liga Warsaw. He looks really nice to go in, and we've got a real nice plethora of good centre-backs now, which I'm really, really happy with. We've also picked up this guy, Valentin Rodriguez. He is a young Uruguayan. He can play anywhere up and down that left-hand side, if you see there. He loves big matches. He's consistent, nice high dribbling abilities as well. So it looks like he's going to be a good player on the ball. Former Penarol player as well. Ahmed Al-Dali comes in. He is another Syrian who you can get for dirt cheap, guys. He comes in to play in the central midfield. He's only come in as a squad player, but we actually purchased him for 500k, and his overall value now is 1.2 to 2.7k. So a nice little potential profit on this guy, and another nice squad depth option for dirt cheap. Ali Rayner, another fan favourite on the channel. He comes back in, another Syrian. He is another centre-back that we can kind of either play and develop or flip for some nice money. He has obviously got 2 Syrian international caps now. He's got 300k paid for him, and he's now valued at 1.3 million to 1.9 million. So again, good progress there. Leon Schuster comes in. This is a defensive midfielder, obviously, to help bolster that 3 in midfield. Nice and well-rounded, 6 foot, 25 years of age, not too old. Rapid Vienna player formerly. And then the last player to come in is 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this dude's name. He can play basically anywhere in that final third, which I'm happy with. He's a natural in the centre, natural as a cam, can play on both flanks, can play up top if he absolutely has to. So he comes in as well from Ashdod, a club that I'd never heard of in Israel. He comes in on a free transfer, guys. So in terms of the tactic, this is still the tactic. If we quick pick without restriction our best 11, this is how we are looking going into this season. The defense is looking pretty solid, but I think we're going to get tested in certain instances by some of these Bundesliga strikers. I've not looked at some of the other Bundesliga strikers, but there's going to be some interesting ones for sure. Obviously, Hoffman still leading that line for us once we quick pick our best 11. If we go into the competition, so we're in the first round of the pokal yet again. Of course, we are expected to finish in the relegation playoffs in terms of our board expectation in the Bundesliga. Bayern have continued their dominance. If we have a look at the season preview, Bayern are favourites to win the league, of course. We are predicted to finish in 17th. Looks like we've done a slightly better job of getting our squad all sorted compared to Holstein Kiel. However, Hamburg also promoted a bigger Bundesliga, a bigger German team, looking like they're going to fare a little bit better. There's still some very good players here. Gnabry, Musiala, Mane still knocking around. Ugarte has now gone to Bayern. Diogo Costa's at Bayern as well. Kimmich, De Ligt. Yeah, there's some good players. This is going to be a rough season, guys. Let's get it done and dusted and see if we can avoid that relegation in season number 4. What a season. I cannot believe what's happened here. We were expected to finish in the relegation playoffs. We have done far superior to that. We have actually finished in 9th in the Bundesliga, and we will be playing Europa Conference League football next season. We've gone from the 3rd tier into Europe. It is absolutely massive. Dynamo Dresden are massive. In terms of the cup, we got to the quarterfinals actually, where we ultimately lost 2-0 to Dortmund. Telles Magno and Youssoufa Moukoko doing the job there. The disparity in squads is quite sizable at the moment. Bayern continue to win the league, but we finish in 9th despite our minus 13 goal difference. I actually thought we had a good defense, good players in those positions. I guess they're kind of young, so maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. But we do qualify, obviously, now with the updated coefficients and stuff like that. A few years into the future, we've got lots of clubs in the Champions League, all the way down to Mainz. So 6 teams in the Champions League, 2 in the Europa League, and then ourselves in the Conference League as well. Oh, I did see Stuttgart down there. Obviously, is into the Europa League, which I assume means... Oh, I was going to say, I thought they'd won the German Cup. Have they won the Conference League, perhaps? They have. They beat Valencia in the final. Conference League winners. So very interesting there. Maybe we could follow in their footsteps and win the Conference League next season. Obviously, we've had a full season in the Bundesliga now, and we do have the finances that go with that. Transfer-wise for next season, we have £11.8 million, guys, and around 50k a week in our wage budget. The overall balance of everything is doing much better now. Obviously, being in European competitions is really, really going to help that. Let's see what we can do for season number 5 and some European football for Dynamo Dresden. Okay, guys, so transfer update going into season number 5. Let's talk about the players that have gone out. We've sold a player for £2 million, actually, which is really, really nice. Jonathan Mayer, he has gone to Mallorca. He is a left back. He's pretty good, actually, well-rounded. It's his second spell at Dresden. Looking at him, a former Bayern Munich player. He is now gone for £2 million on a player that we just paid 170k for. That is a good bit of business. Let's talk about some of the players that we've actually signed, though. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, I'm sorry, Belgians. I'm sorry. I butchered it. This is the ultimate box-to-box midfielder if I've ever seen one for this sort of level. He looks fantastic to play in that midfield 3. Look at those mental attributes. Supremely well-rounded. Same in the physicals. Exactly what you want at this level. We paid £9 million for him. Another fan favourite on the Wonder Kid shortlist. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, he comes in. Icelandic international. 35 caps. 2 goals for his Iceland national team level. He's much more of a creative outlet. 14 passing, 14 technique. High determination on him. Look at the player traits on the boy. He's got absolutely loads. We paid £9 million to Copenhagen for his services. He's been very good in the save so far, averaging over a 7 in his last 2 seasons. Then we signed a player for £2.7 million, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 Mane. Now, I had this guy at Versailles. You can watch my save with Versailles, by the way. Twitch.tv/𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 UK. I had this guy at Versailles for a period of time. Didn't really cut the mustard, so I'm hoping he can do a little bit better here from Dortmund. He comes in, as I said, at a cheaper purchase, £2.7 million. Looks supremely well-rounded. Hoping I have a good version of him this time around. 6'2", young Italian. So talking about the team and the players and stuff like that, let's quick pick without restriction our best 11 so you can kind of see. And this is how we're looking. Hoffman is kind of still the main man up top, but we're definitely improving the strength and depth of this squad. I'm hoping that we can kind of compete, especially because we do have European stuff to talk about. Let's open the competitions tab. Obviously, we do have the Europa Conference League. We do have to qualify. We're taking on Dundalk from Ireland, which is nice. I'd love to get in the league phase. It would be good. 8 European games would be fantastic, especially considering 4 of those are going to be at home. Extra money in the coffers. DFB Pokal, obviously, we go into the first round. The Bundesliga, we are expected to avoid relegation, despite finishing really high up the division last year. If we have a look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish in 16th. Insert Nepenthes gif here. 16th! We are predicted to finish in 16th. Hopefully we can kind of progress and kind of do better than that. But we're going to have to see, really. I think it's going to be tough competition in the Bundesliga. And I'm hoping European football really doesn't throw us off here in season number 5. I don't know where to start. Season number 5. We won the Conference League. I know the Conference League is kind of weighted, right, to these bigger leagues, like the Premier League, like the Bundesliga, Serie A, etc. But for us to go all the way, as Dynamo Dresden, with how far this rebuild has come thus far, is absolutely redonkulous. Obviously, we got knocked out in the 3rd round of the Pokal. Whenever you come up against Bayern in Germany, you get slapped. They continue to win the division comfortably. We'll talk about the Conference League in a second. In terms of the Bundesliga, though, we finish in 7th. I don't think that was good enough to get a Europa League spot naturally, but winning the Conference League means we are in the Europa League next season. We kind of corrected that goal difference thing. In the positives, just with 1, but we're in the positives, 53 points. We're closing the gap. We're 9 points away from the top 4 now, which is kind of where we want to be. Ideally, I'd love to get there next season. But let's talk about Europa Conference League, shall we? Because this is just ludicrous. Let's talk Conference League, shall we? There we go. So we knocked out Dundalk in the qualifying. Then we took on this team that I've never heard of from Romania. Oh no, that manager's Romanian. This is from is that Azerbaijan? I don't know that flag. I'm really struggling. It is Azerbaijan. They're based in Baku. Obviously, Steve, this is called Baku. Göteborg, a nice little comfortable league phase. Beat Lille, beat Hearts. Bratislava beat them as well. Got into the knockout phases. Obviously, we beat Hearts in the league phase. In the knockout phase, we beat them twice as well. 5-0 away from home, 4-1 at home. Beat Fiorentina. Again, another big sort of Italian team coming in here. Beat them 2-1 at home, drew 1-1 away. Then we take on Lille. Beat them in France. We beat them here. And then we take on a team. Again, another team. I'm sorry, guys. Another team that I've never heard of. They are from Slovakia. To get all the way to the Conference League final. To take on us. And then we absolutely pumped them. it was almost a bit of an FMing. 8 shots for them, 4 on target, 2 goals. We had 38 shots, 15 on target, and we just about win it with 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 getting the goal in the late moments. Obviously, this is another young sort of player that we're trying to bring through here. Who we've had in our youth intake from our very first season. So obviously 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 coming in, getting the goal, which is nice to see. A young player coming through Dresden and getting the job done, which is very, very nice. But I cannot believe that we have won the bloody Conference League. We're going into the Europa League. Julius Hoffmann continues to be a bagsman. 34 goals in all competitions. And now he's done his cruciates, which is a pain, an absolute pain. He did it on my birthday as well, the 12th of April. So feels bad to be him. But going into next season, we got 30 million, guys. The money is coming in. We got 50 mil in terms of our overall balance. It's time to get spending. Right, okay, we had some money to spend and I've kind of gone overboard a little bit. £101 million spent in terms of our transfers, but we have some big names to talk to you guys about. Giovanni Rosbell comes in from Ajax. He is a young left back. He is a new gen. He looks like a nice player that is going to develop really nicely. Technical attributes I'm not as worried about. Mentally, he's very good. High determination. Model citizen personality. Again, the Wonder Kid Finder's been out in force here. If you've not checked out that video, please do go and have a look at it on the channel. It is very good, if I do say so myself. We also signed Evan Ferguson. Now, if you've seen this guy in the most recent update, he is a monster. Coming in from Brighton. It looks like he's had a loan at Middlesbrough, is that? Yeah, loan at Middlesbrough last season in the Championship. Hasn't really played as much as you would like. He's coming in to kind of revive his career, coming into the Bundesliga, and this guy's a goal machine. That's all I need to say. He comes in from Brighton for £30.5 million. Let's talk about this guy, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩. He comes in to be our... he's going to be a central midfielder, isn't he? He's going to be a central midfielder. Obviously, we're playing a 4-3-3. 18 first touch, high technique, high flair. The ability to unlock defences is exactly what I'm looking for with this guy. Comes in from Nice. We paid £30 million for his services. It could be deemed as a lot, but I think it's quite acceptable. And then we've had a little part X here. Faris Yusufu comes in as a goalkeeper. There's a lot of good goalkeepers in Germany, and this guy's definitely one of them. 16 aerial reach, 16 one-on-ones, likes to rush out, high positioning, very nice physically. He has come in to be an absolute beast. Paul Buckner is the one who's gone the other way. We used one of our youth prospect or youth players, whatever you want to call them, youth intake. That's the word, Steve. Youth intake as a part X, which is very, very nice. And we sold some other players as well. Hamoud comes in, he goes over to England to play for Middlesbrough for £5.25 million. And this guy as well, Oliver Batstia Meyer, he goes over to FC Cologne. Nice player, but, you know, we're getting better now. You can kind of see the progression levels that we are trying to go with this. Obviously, in terms of the competitions, we are going to be playing in the Europa League this season, which is going to be crazy. Obviously, we still have the Pokal. I still don't think we're at a good enough level to kind of challenge for that, especially if we come up against Bayern. In the Bundesliga, the board want us to avoid relegation again. Bayern continue their dominance. If we look at the season preview, we're predicted to finish in 12th now. We've climbed. We've climbed. Still expected to finish in the bottom half of the table though, so we're gonna have to see what we can do here. But I kind of fancy our chances at a big push. Another European season next year would be absolutely fantastic. Let's simulate this season and see how we get on. Season 6, man. Honestly, this save is just getting better and better and better. In Season 6, we won the Europa League. We beat Leipzig in the final, an all-German final. We beat Leipzig in the final. We're knocked out again in the second round of the Pokal, but again, I don't care. It's another trophy in the trophy cabinet, and it's European trophies as well. You cannot beat it. We do actually crack ourselves into the top 4, but because of the coefficient places and how that falls, it's now a top 5 in Germany. The top 5 get themselves into the Champions League. Bayern continue to win. Again, I don't really care. We are making huge, huge strides. Evan Ferguson, as I mentioned at the start of the season, is a absolute goal machine. 35 goals, for him in all competitions. He goes on to be very, very good. Imagine what he could have been if he was given more time when he was younger at Brighton. We'll talk about the Europa League in just a sec. Let's talk about all of these fixtures that we have played. Let's talk Europa League. So we're going to be in the Champions League next season. I just cannot believe it. In the league phase, we had some interesting games. We drew 1-1 with Manchester United, absolutely thumped Qarabag, lost to Betis, drew with Nice. So it's not actually the best run-in. We did have to be in the playoff, and we beat Copenhagen 5-0 away from home, which all basically put an end to the tie. We then knocked out Rangers, Rennes, Gladbach in the semi-finals, an all-German semi-final, and then Leipzig in the final, 4-2. Evan Ferguson with a brace in the final, kind of dominating and kind of showing why we paid that much money to Brighton for his services. The team is good. The team is feeling stacked. We are going to be playing in the bloody Champions League next season, in season number 7, which is absolutely fantastic. Finances wise, we continue to move up. We got 36 million to spend this year. We're almost at 850k for our wage budget as well, which is just savage. Like, it's just improving year on year. You can kind of see the jumps that we've been making here, and obviously being in the Bundesliga and being in these European competitions helps out massively. Let's go see what we can do for season number 7, our Champions League debut. More money spent, more installments used. We've spent another £85 million this time around. We've only had one player leave, £1.5 million for Julius Cade. He has gone. We're talking players in though, and boy, do we have some players here. Daniel Fritz comes in from Hoffenheim. He is a new gen despite having a face. Obviously, my new gen face pack is kind of loaded for my Versailles save, not this one. So some of the random new gens will have faces. He comes in from Hoffenheim. Again, nice, well-rounded defender. Can play either as a left back or a right back. Good on both feet, is really, really nice. Comes in £16 million from Hoffenheim. Paolo Bernato comes in from Inter Milan for £30 million again. He is a new gen, if I am not mistaken. He is. He comes in, looks fantastic as well. Really nice technique as well as nice positioning, good determination, good decisions. Again, nice personality to improve. Comes in as a bit more of a creative defensive midfielder rather than just an elite tier stopper. I think we could either use this guy for the rest of the save or sell him for an absolute wedge a little bit further down the line. McLeod K comes in from Sassuolo. He is a Scottish man. He was created at Wraith Rovers. And a Scotsman in the comment section, let me know if you would like a player like this in your squad in a few years' time in 2028. Because I think he looks exceptional. He's 6'3", 17 jumping reach. He's got decent enough heading, good leadership qualities as well. Mentally, he looks absolutely fantastic. He is labelled as a wonder kid. And he comes in. Interesting career path. Wraith Rovers to Motherwell to Sassuolo to Dynamo Dresden. But Byron McLeod K is our new centre-back. He came in for £8.5 million. And then the last one to talk about is Adama Traoré is how we're going to say this guy's name. Elite. That's all I'm going to say. He is listed as a wonder kid as well. He's 19 years of age, former Club Brugge player, come out of, I'm going to butcher this, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙗. He comes out of this club. They are 3-time winners of the Belgian Cup. Just look at him. Just look at his attributes. That's all I'm going to say. Just look at his attributes. He is amazing. Only thing I'm a little bit worried about with him is the fact that he is 5'6". So if we quick pick without restriction, this is how our team's looking for this season. Evan Ferguson is currently wanted by Schalke. I wouldn't sell him in division. But our team is looking pretty darn stacked now. I'm really, really happy with how this team has been developing. If we go into the competitions, obviously as Europa League winners, we have the Super Cup where we take on Real Madrid. We're into the Champions League for the very first time. The board expectation now on the Cup is to reach the quarterfinals, obviously because of that Champions League money coming in. I can kind of understand where they're coming from. And then in the Bundesliga, the board expectation is to finish inside the top half. We want better than that. Season preview, if we have a look at things, the media prediction is saying we are going to finish in 7th. Again, I want to finish in the European places. Eddie Howe, also manager of RB Leipzig. Fair play, Eddie Howe. Interesting career path that he has taken there. Musiala still in there. Szoboszlai has now gone from Leipzig to Bayern. So, you know, Bayern continue to be Bayern. Let's simulate this season and see how we get on in our first season in the Champions League. Trophies, ladies and gentlemen. We've finally added another trophy to our trophy cabinet, and it's a different one this time around. It's a competition we've been really, really poor in. We have won ourselves the DFB Pokal, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Europe's kind of messed with us this year. In terms of the league, we finish in 7th, which means we are in the Europa League next season as winners of the Pokal. We would have been in the Conference League otherwise. But we do win the DFB Pokal, beating Wolfsburg 3-0 in the final. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 again with a brace in the final. As I said, he's a big game player. He knows exactly what he's doing. To win us the Pokal, which is fantastic. We were runners-up in the Super Cup. We got absolutely trounced by Real Madrid, 4-0. Camavinga, Rodrigo, Big Vinny still at Real Madrid there. We had some very poor performances, to be perfectly honest. Not counting the league phase of the Champions League. We'll talk about that one in a second. And then, yeah, finished in 7th in the league. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 was our top goal scorer again in all competitions, 34 for him in all comps. He's wanted now by Monaco, Napoli, Atletico Madrid and RB Leipzig. Again, he won't go in division if we are going to sell him, so we'll have to see what we can do. Let's talk league phase, because we've had some ropey fixtures in this Champions League so far. Monaco lost, Anderlecht lost, beat Porto, drew with Real Madrid, lost to Nice, beat Young Boys, lost to Milan, lost to Chelsea. So you can kind of see why when we have a look at the league phase, we almost made that playoff, but we didn't quite. Rather disappointing, but Champions League money is Champions League money, so hopefully that can give us a nice little boost for next season. Obviously the league, rather disappointing. The squad needs to kind of evolve just that little bit more, I think, to fight on all of these fronts. And speaking of being able to evolve the squad, we've got £65 million. Now, I believe that is because we had a sizable outgoing, which is this guy. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, he goes over to Bayern Leverkusen in the January. They activated his minimum fee release clause, 43 million quid. So, cheers for your service, bro. We've got some cash to spend, and we're going to need to spend it, because I think that sort of thing will disrupt. Obviously, being in the Champions League would have disrupted as well. £65 million to spend. Let's go spend it and really step up and take this team to the next level. So we're moving into season 8 now, and there's been a lot of in and outs this summer, so I'm expecting a bit of a turbulent start to the season, but I'm hoping the overall quality improvements will see things balance out. Now Rocky's gone. He has gone to Tigres, obviously a player that we've had for quite a while now. He's the guy who came in from Liga Warsaw. He looks okay. He's gone though. 15.75 million. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 has gone to Chelsea. Usually when the Premier League comes calling, you kind of have to let it go. He has gone to Chelsea for £21.5 million. Another one, Julius Hoffmann. He's not really cut the mustard anymore. He's gone to Sochi, which is very interesting. A nice, interesting club that you don't see a lot of. He has gone over to their Russia. Yeah, gone over to Russia because not really quite at the level. £13.5 million for him. And Morgala has gone to Watford as well. Again, when a team in England comes calling, you usually lose your players. He can either play as a DM now or a CDM or a centre back. So yeah, he's gone as well. Gone to Watford for £4.9 million. But we have spent some cash, including £65 million on one player. So we'll talk about those in a minute. Giorgio Cittadini, he comes in. He is an Atalanta player at the start of the save. Very well-rounded centre-back, 16 jumping reach, 16 heading. He's 6'2". Italian centre-backs know how to do it. That's all I'm going to say. He comes in from Sevilla, in this instance, £17 million. And we've signed another Italian centre-back to go next to him, Diego Coppola. He comes in to play with us alongside another Italian centre-back, which is nice. He comes into Dresden, obviously former Verona player. I actually do have this guy in my Twitch save, in my network game at Lazio. You can check that out, twitch.tv/HoodGamingUK. If you haven't come over, drop me a follow. You can check out the network game that I do with Murph FM. 25 years of age, 6'4", high jumping reach, good positioning. I really like this guy as a player. That's why I sign him a lot. We'll come back to the £65 million man in a second. Toprak comes in. A former, where was he created? RB Leipzig, and he's bounced around loads of places. Can play out on the right-hand side, high pace, 15 pace, high acceleration as well, high agility, 17 agility is really, really nice. Nice flair, nice off the ball. This guy, again, is going to be another creative force. He's got one cap for Germany now as well. Another one considered a wonder kid. Obviously, the wonder kid finder out in force. £9.75 million for him from RB Leipzig. Yes, please. Arthur Noah is another player, another new gen to come in. He, another one listed as another wonder kid. Needs some work on his positioning, but other than that, another young Italian. Looks like the bee's knees, 6'4", high jumping reach as well. So another good player. And then, guys, the money that everyone wants to see, £65 million on Tonino. He comes in from Liverpool. Look at how good this goalkeeper is. It's rare that you see goalkeepers that can do everything. Has he come out of Ponte Preta? I think that might be Ponte Preta. I'm not sure. He comes out of Ponte Preta is what I'm going to say. He's gone to Liverpool and he's had a couple of loans by the looks of things. £3.1 million to Liverpool. They barely played him. He's had a couple loans into the Championship, and now we've paid £65 million for him. High communication, high aerial reach. He's 6'1", great at one-on-one, so he's a good shot stopper, nice positioning, nice leadership, 19 determination. He's a wonder kid, perfectionist personality, fantastic physicals. What more can you say, guys? I don't like spending a lot of money on goalkeepers, but it felt right. It felt right. If we quick pick without restriction our best 11, this is how we're looking right now. It says 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 is still our best goalkeeper. Can't pay £65 million on a keeper and then not play him. Defensively, we look really good now. Menji still here. Coppola, Cittadini come in as the Italian stallions there. I will say this guy is wanted by Manchester United. That is a problem. That is a problem in season number 8. But that trio looks like they could go and do really, really good things there. The team's looking fantastic. I would ideally like another winger on this side because 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is not a winger. We'll see what we can do there. We'll see what we can do. In terms of the competitions, though, obviously we're back into the Europa League. We do have the DFL Super Cup as winners of the Pokal last season. Back into the Pokal to try and defend that. And then the board wants us to qualify for the Europa League for this season. Bundesliga-wise, if we take a look at the pre-season odds, we are predicted to finish in 6th. 25-1 to win the division now. So we're not favourites by any stretch. But we're definitely considered in that chasing pack, which is really, really nice to see. Let's simulate this year and see what we can do. Can we win another Europa League title? So season 8 is the season of the nearly men, ladies and gentlemen. No Europa League trophy this season, no Super Cup, and a relatively poor performance in the league by our standards. Let's first of all talk about the Super Cup though. Runners up in that one, we take on Bayern. Obviously they are the best team in Germany, no questions asked. We lose that one 2-0. Dastro Fofana and Jamal Musiala with the goals there. A very young dynamic strike force, which is a problem for the rest of the division. We were knocked out in the second round of the Pokal in our German Cup defence. Yeah. Losing to Borussia Mönchengladbach, which is disappointing. We then go and get all the way to the Europa League final, where we take on Liverpool. Now, what on earth are Liverpool doing here? I have no idea. They've still got Alisson, still got Trent. They've signed Ruben Neves. They got Yeremy Pino, still got Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz. And they win 1-0. They kind of deserve to win the game, but they win 1-0. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that Liverpool are there more than anything. And then in the league, we finish in 7th, meaning we are in the Conference League next season. This team's too good for the Conference League. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to beat around the bush, but Liverpool, I'm going to swear here, Liverpool, they should not be in the Europa League. If we have a look at our run to get there in the knockout stages, we put out Celtic, put out Standard Liège, put out Rennes as well. As I said, Liverpool should not be in the Europa League. Devastated that they're there. They must have had a little bit of a wobble in the Premier League. Season number 8 is done and dusted though. Let's talk about transfers for season number 9. Looks like we are currently potentially gonna fail FFP. Might need to sell some players. We got £32 million in transfer budget, and we've got a little bit around 100k in the, or no, sorry, hold on. That is around about 50-60k in terms of our wage budget. Let's see what we can do for season number 9. Okay guys, so season number 9's transfers in. I have to say massive thank you to anyone who is still here at this point. If you are still watching the video, this is probably going to be like 45-50 minutes in. I want you guys to comment down below. I love 10-year rebuilds, or just 10-year rebuilds. 10-year rebuilds will do. 10-year rebuilds lets me know that you guys are here. You're still watching 9 seasons deep into this rebuild of Dynamo Dresden. And let's talk transfers. We've been a little bit more sensible this year. We've actually made money in the transfer window. Hashtag net profit. Evan Ferguson is the main man who's gone. He's gone to RB Leipzig. He didn't want to sign a new deal with us. Wanted to go to a bigger, better team. and he's gone to RB Leipzig, £25 million. So we've actually made a little bit of a loss on him, but he's been a goal scoring machine for us for the most part. So we've made a little bit of a loss on him, but ultimately I'm not too disappointed. Let's talk about some of the players coming in. Omar comes in. He comes in from Club America in Mexico. He is a winger, the left winger that we did need last season. High passing, high technique, high agility on this guy. Again, I love shopping for new gens. They are always fantastic, and because they're exclusive to your save, aren't they? Let's talk about Carlos Cardenas. He comes in as well. Another young player, young Mexican, to come in. He's currently broken his leg though, so he's going to be out for 3 to 4 months. Looks like a good player again, another nice wonder kid to come in and join the ranks. Then we signed this player from Nantes as well, Francis 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this dude's name. He is fast, ladies and gentlemen. 16 pace, 17 acceleration, nice high agility and balance as well, nice flair, good finishing as well at 17. He comes in for £8 million, so we spent 24.5 and we sold £25 million worth of players. Which is really, really nice. Yeah, just making sure I didn't miss any early business there. So we are back. We're back into the Europa Conference League, guys. I want to see if I can win it. I want to see if I can win it twice. It'd be ridiculous to do it twice. In terms of the Pokal, we are expected to finish, to get to at least the quarterfinals again. It'd be nice to win another one of those before we finish. And then the board want us to qualify for the Europa League. In terms of the Bundesliga, if we have a look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish in 5th now, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 has now made it into the Media Dream 11, so you can kind of see the level that we're at now. Unai Emery is the Bayern Leverkusen manager, which is very interesting. Just out of curiosity, who's the Bayern manager? It is still Nagelsmann. Interesting what happened with him in real life. Let's simulate season number 9 and see if we can add another trophy to the trophy cabinet. Come on, Conference League. Oh yes, what a season, boys. Season number 9. I'm actually most happy about our league performance, guys. We are now the 2nd best team in Germany. We were 12 points behind Bayern. They continue to win yet again. 83 points for Bayern, 71 points for us, but Dortmund and Gladbach round off that top 4, knocked out in the 2nd round of the Pokal again, this time by Werder Bremen, and we do go on to win the Conference League again, playing a team in England. I don't understand why Manchester City are in the Europa Conference League final. They've still got bloody Erling Haaland, for God's sake, but we beat them. Francis gets the goal, Mohamed Reina gets another goal. We're so good, man. We're good. We are good. I do need to see what actually happened to Man City. If we have a look in the Premier League, they got Thomas Tuchel as their manager. They finished in 8th, which means no European football for them because we beat them. Let's have a look at the season prior. They finished in 7th in the Premier League. Southampton flying up into the Champions League spots, which is ludicrous. Some very interesting winners of the Premier League over the last few seasons as well. But we're not talking Premier League, we're not talking England, we're talking Dresden and the Bundesliga. I'll show you guys the run into the Conference League final. We won every game we played in the competition. Some interesting games in the league phases. We beat Anderlecht, we beat Nordsjælland, beat Vitesse. In the knockout stages, knocked out Slavia Prague, knocked out Lens, and then obviously beat Man City in that final. We have 1 season remaining, guys. 1 season remaining, and I'm going to go into the Bundesliga, and I'm going to go into the past winners. I really want to break this. Bayern have won it every single year. We finally got to beat the 2nd best team in Germany. I would love it. I'm going to do my Kevin Keegan. I would love it if we beat them. I would love it if we beat them in this final season. It's season number 10. We got some money, 16 million to spend. The transfers that I've made and the sort of like the installments are kind of catching up with me, but it's fine. We're the 2nd best team in Germany. I think letting some of these wonder kids that we've accrued kind of get another year older, another year wiser, and another year better is going to lead us to have a very good season in season number 10. So guys, season number 10 is here, and I have to talk about a team that I really, really find frustrating at the moment. They seem to be destroying me at every single opportunity. Adama Traoré is now a Tottenham player, ladies and gentlemen. He is now a 5-star player, world-class midfielder. He looks fantastic now. Like, look at how good he is. I forgot to tell you guys that he went to Tottenham last season, before the transfer deadline day. £76 million. They activated his minimum fee release. hate Tottenham, man. They're so irritating this year, and it's so disappointing to lose a player of this caliber, valued now at 217 to 291 million. Oh, it makes me sad. He's very good, but he's gone. So that's kind of righted the financial fair plays. We've got rid of a couple of other players. Papetti's gone. Yusufu's gone to Cadiz. Sporting 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 have Andrea Papetti as well. We've got rid of a couple of other players. Let's talk about some of the players that have come in, though. Zvonko Terzic, he is a DM slash centre-back. Supremely well-rounded for all the attributes that you need to be good in those positions, really. 13 caps for Serbia. Out of curiosity, which team in Serbia did he come from? I can't remember. Oh, okay, he's been via Chelsea as well. Interesting. Not one of the big two. But yes, high heading, marking, tackling as well. Nice high determination, decisions, leadership. All of that good stuff that you need on a good centre-back. He comes in. And 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, again, another one, kind of comes in as that replacement in the central midfield from Maccabi Tel Aviv. He came in for £2.6 million. So some nice reinvestment of funds here in terms of the finances, because we're in the red a little bit here. It'll be all right on the night, won't it? As long as you perform in the competitions, you'll be fine. In season number 10, though, guys, we've got the Bundesliga, we've got the Pokal, and we're back in the Champions League because we finished second in the league. So let's see what we can do in season number 10. In terms of the Bundesliga, though, guys, Bayern are still predicted to be the best team in Germany. We are now predicted to finish in 5th, and we don't have a player in the Media Dream 11. Actually, yes, we do. We've got this guy, Paulo Bonato. He comes into the Media Dream 11 now as the DM. And Ben Doak actually progressing supremely well. Wow, he is so good now. He's got this update in the January or in the winter update. He looks phenomenal as well. A Liverpool player, if you can get your hands on him. Scotland fans, I'm sure you'll like him a lot as well. Let's get through this 10th and final season and see if we can finally dethrone Bayern. Close, but no cigar. Bayern are too damn strong. We finished 2 points behind them in the Bundesliga. 34 games played. We both won 23 games. We drew 4, lost 7. They drew 6, lost 5. They kind of had our number most of the season. We kind of battled it around in first for a few games as well. But ultimately, if I go into the schedule, you can kind of see the penultimate game of the season. We actually took on Bayern at home, and they won 4-1 to take the lead back off of us. So our victory against Union Berlin means nothing on the final day of the season. Bayern Munich win the title for a 10th consecutive season. They absolutely annihilated Mainz at the end of the season, 7 goals to 1 to go through and be the best team in Germany still. Fair play Nagelsmann, fair play Bayern for doing so. We got to the knockout rounds of the Champions League, though, guys. Marseille did knock us out, 4 goals to 2 on aggregate. Just didn't click, unfortunately, in that second leg, and then we're knocked out in the second round of the Pokal yet again. This is a rather embarrassing result to be knocked out from a team in the division below, but 10 seasons done and dusted. I think the progress has been absolutely fantastic. This team is ripe to go on and see if you can beat Bayern Munich. You're gonna have 30 million if you want to do it. If you did want to pick up this save, it is in my Discord, guys. The links to that will be down below. I'll post the save in Discord so that you can carry it on from this point. And if you do like the rebuilds, guys, check out this playlist up here, which is all the rebuilds we've done on this year's game so far. And thank you if you are still here watching at the end of 10 seasons. It's going to be over an hour. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Take care.